Good morning, everyone. January 8th, 2021. I'm here with the Pup Squad, Hero, Lucy, Alfred, and Oliver. These are my pups, and they look thrilled. This is volume 2, From Tragedy to Strategy. This is a 10 bullet-pointed list of action items that I would utilize for the gym to help with New Year's resolutions and goals. Before I get to that, I just wanted to say I begin school in a few days. I have done a lot of work over the last few months. I feel strong, I feel fortified, I feel about as ready as I can be. This is the most important thing in my life for the next foreseeable future, nursing school. And I absolutely love this field. It is, as anyone who gets in and has yet to begin, you don't know how to study, you know, at first. It's not like other sciences where this is the kidney and this is the spleen. It's more about, well, how they work together, how they interact, and critical thinking. It's a whole other way of thinking. They want us to think and act like a nurse. And I have done, as I mentioned in my last video, but the last few months I'll just reiterate, a lot of inward looking, therapy, books, audiobooks, videos, talk to friends, look deep within myself more than I think ever before to do the work, and I feel about as good as I can feel going in. And I'm going to give it my best. This is the most important thing in my life, nursing school, especially with what's going on currently in the world. Having said that, I'd like to share, again, a 10 bullet-pointed list of action items I've come up with that if I were going to the gym or relatively new, that I would implement. So the first is I believe in knowing what your plan is, you know, knowing, okay, I'm going to go to the gym today and I'm going to work on back or I'm going to work on chest and triceps or whatever it might be. Know the breakdown. And how do you know that if you're new? Books, videos, personal trainers. I think some research should be done, or you should go in at least with somewhat understanding of what's going to happen in the gym that day. It's like if you go into a store without a plan, you'll either come out with everything or nothing. And I don't think you get much done. So I think it's important from day one to go in with some kind of a plan or some outline or something. As you gain experience, what I used to call that was the target set. So for example, if my previous best was 100 pounds for 6 on whatever exercise, if you lift the same, you look the same. So the next time I would attempt 100 pounds for 7 reps and onward. And I still have my bodybuilding journal / diary from years ago where I would put the dates and target sets, and I would only write it in there if it really happened. If someone spotted me too much or put their hands or lifted it up for me, it wouldn't go. It had to be an honest lift and attempt and victory. So number 2 is very important to be present for every set. If it's a warm-up set or if it's a max set or a target set, as I call it, you can get injured really, unfortunately, too easy. You must be present. You know, we all use our phone in the gym. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't, but it's between sets. Now, in the old days, when it was more important for me or I had competitive aspirations, and if I had a phone, which I didn't then, I wouldn't be on my phone at all. But, you know, it's 2021. Be present for each and every set because you don't want to get hurt. Number 3 is I believe in warming up, but not doing too much warming up. I've seen trainers, and when I was training, personal training people, I felt did too much of the session of warming up. These people were paying top dollar, you know, and in my opinion, warm up, yes, but minimally, as much as is needed, the minimal, and then proceed to the working sets or that all-out set, i.e. target set. I'm a linear person. I don't like to waste time, but it means be smart. Warm up. For example, when I was a kid, before I would attempt a set of bench presses with 405 pounds, I would certainly warm up with 135. It's important to build up. You know, I would never come in ever and do 405 off the bat. That's just inviting injury, and it's stupid. Number 4 is to know the point. I can't even read my writing. Know the paths, the paths of a set. Okay. The bench press is a common example. So when you lower the bar, which should be slow and controlled, that's called the negative. That's when you stretch the muscle. And the positive, or the release, should be more explosive. sort of like a bow and arrow. You would pull the bow back slowly and then fire the arrow quickly, if that makes sense. Also, before I forget, inhale on the negative and use your breath to work for you, not against you. Exhale on the positive. Inhale slow, exhale a little bit quicker, but never anything done too quickly. That's how we want to stay injury free here, people. Another big thing is to know what the muscle does. I see people always trying to reinvent the wheel and do what I think are weird things in the gym. And look, we always should be learning, and things, technology sometimes improves, and that's life. No one knows it all. No one. But if you stick with the basics, know what the muscle does, okay? What does the biceps do? The biceps is responsible for flexion and for supination, okay? That's its two functions. Flexion, supination, right? So if you do an exercise that does those movements, you've essentially covered it, i.e., my personal favorite, the standing alternate dumbbell curl, okay? Do what the muscle does. This is a general rule, and people really overlook it, and you'll develop the muscle, okay? We make this more complicated than it needs to be. Also, larger muscle groups first. I would never, ever go into the gym and do, I've coupled for years now my chest and my triceps. And my personal breakdown of everything, which I'll share. Monday is back because most people do chest on Monday, and I'm not like most people, but also it would free up all the equipment so I could do whatever I wanted. So for me, Monday is back. Tuesday is chest and triceps. Wednesday is off. Thursday would be legs. Friday, shoulders and biceps. Everything worked once a week. Some people work things twice a week. I could never do that with the intensity that I was generating. One good whack with the hammer, if you will, and the job is done, okay? I was always trying to improve, do my target set, get better. More is not better. Better is better. Be there, be present. Believe me, the 4 days a week, which was not even maybe 4 hours of weight training a week, they were about an hour, a little less each session, was more than enough. For me, it culminated in a teenage national championship heavyweight victory. So, it worked for me. So my point is I would never do triceps before chest. That would be just silly. If you do your triceps first, they're used a lot for chest. You're not going to have any power left or energy for the heavy compound movements to follow. So, but large muscle groups first. Sorry, my writing is tough to read here. I just jotted these things down. Do not equal. I can't even read number 7. I apologize. Time doesn't. Oh, okay. It's well, I just mentioned this, but I'll say it again. It's not about time. I did 2 hours. I did 3 hours in the gym. I don't care. I did a half hour. I did 45 minutes. Is going to be a lot better. And I actually believe that works for studying as well. It's much better to do a good 30, 45-minute study session than a 3-hour all over the place study session. You get more out of it. So time is not impressive to me. Quality is. Number 8, rep range. Now, this is often, disputed, and of course, I'm giving you, what has worked for me. Generally speaking, most people want to lose fat, okay? Generally speaking, and gain lean muscle. I believe rep range for the upper body, 8 to 10. Lower body responds a little bit to higher reps. They're bigger muscle groups, so 12 to 15. So that's the rep range. Even when I was getting ready for a show or even a photo shoot years later for a book, I still wouldn't do crazy high amount of reps. It's a fallacy that high reps burns fat. To me, high reps was always like taking the nails out of a house, right? And the house would crumble. You have to, I believe, do what brought you to the dance in the first place. I used my cardio and my nutrition to whittle away fat and to hold on to muscle. That was done with nutrition, of course, but by good, solid, heavy weight training. Number 9, the order. Okay, weights first. Weights and then cardio. I never do cardio or weights first, ever. If I did my cardio before my weights, I would be tired, I would be blown up, I wouldn't be able to do my weights. Weight training first. We want to utilize glycogen, which is stored carbohydrates in the muscle, to fuel that. We want to certainly dip into adipose stores for cardio. They say that cardio, which involves the heart, which is 20 minutes or more in duration, of an activity is you start to burn fat at 20 minutes in. I always went 30 to 45 minutes tops. I never did an hour of cardio. I thought it was too much for me, and even 45 was pushing it. So weights, then cardio. And before I forget, I would do weights, then my abs, and I would do very little abs because you're using your abs the whole time. You cannot spot reduce. If you did just abs, your body, if it's provided you're eating correctly and doing cardio and everything, your body's still going to take fat from other places where it wants to. That's the way it works. If I were an athlete that required strong abdominals, and then I would work them more, but not to have them more visible, but so they'd be stronger inside. But believe me, when you're doing, especially the weights I used to do, the bent over rows and the overhead pressing and the bench pressing and even the curls, you're utilizing your abdominals the whole time. Okay, I don't believe you need a lot of direct abdominal work, and that's how I feel. And finally, number 10, I think I answered this before. In fact, I did. Less is better. More is not better. So I believe in training everything once a week. Now, if you're doing a full body workout, which is where you're doing a little bit of every muscle group in the session, that is more for conditioning and fat burning purposes. That I believe you can do multiple times a week. I would do maybe that, 2 or 3. But again, you're not breaking every muscle down. But by and large, I found it to be extremely effective to, again, for building muscle and losing body fat, to split my body up four ways, and to do everything once a week, but to the best of my ability with the target set in mind. There were times where I was a stubborn young man, but I would not get my target set and I would leave. I would be so angry that day, I would leave. Today, I would do things differently. I would never do that. We're human. You're not always going to get the target set, but I believe you got to fight for it. And you learn over time. I now know so much more at 45 than I did at 19, and I expect to know more at 65 than at 45. That's life, right? So, but if you follow, I've followed these action items and you just listen to your instinct and you're smart about things, you can do tremendous things in life. And so again, this list was to go with the mental action items from a few weeks ago for volume 1. I hope that you've gotten something from this. And also it's okay to, also evolve. And I said this in the last video that goals change. I'm not concerned now with maximal muscle anymore. I'd like to try to stay lean. That's important to me and functional at this age. But right now, for me personally, the most important thing is nursing school. But I know the importance also of being physical or physically fit or keeping active. I don't want to be someone that blows up but does, excels in nursing school. I like to stay relatively lean and excel in nursing school, and you can do both. I think it's about balance. And anyway, this video has gone on for a bit, but thanks for sticking with me, and I hope you got something from it, and Happy New Year to everybody, 2021. Take care.